Zip promised at least $260 million in cash earnings. It delivered 269. It beat every target on its own scorecard. And it raised next year's guidance by 26%. The stock jumped 18% on the day. 2 sessions later, it was trading below where it started. This is what happened in between.
Before we do though, quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not a licensed advisor. This is purely educational. Do your own research. Talk to a professional if you need to. All right, let's go.
First, what this company actually is. Zip lets you buy something now and pay for it in installments. It earns a fee from the merchant and sometimes a fee from you. It runs 2 businesses, one in Australia and New Zealand, one in the United States. The American one is now much the larger of the 2. Now the numbers. Cash earnings of $269 million, up 58%. Revenue of $1.34 billion, up almost 25%. Statutory net profit of $116 million, up 46%. And an operating margin of 20%, up from just under 16%. That is the 4th straight year of higher cash earnings. 4 years ago, on the basis these accounts now report, it lost $150 million. So on the numbers, this is a good result, clearly a good result, which makes what the share price did rather strange.
Here is the share price over the last 3 months. At the end of May, it closed at $2.25. By the 30th of June, it was $3.24, up 44% in 5 weeks. Then it handed almost all of that back through July. The day before the result, it closed at $2.58. On results day, Thursday the 20th of August, it closed at $3.05, up 18% on unusually heavy volume. The very next session, it closed at $2.57, down 15.7%. The entire gain gone in a single day. As at the 24th of August, Zip trades at $2.52. That is just over 2% below where it sat before the result came out. A company beat its guidance, raised next year, and ended the week lower than it started.
So the earnings went up, and the share price did not. Something else must have moved. Here is the arithmetic. A share price is earnings multiplied by whatever the market will pay for them. Since the end of May, earnings per share went from 6.2 cents to 9.2. That is up 48%. Over exactly the same stretch, the price to earnings multiple fell from 36 times down to 27.5. That is down 24%. Put those two together, and you get the 12% the stock actually rose. The earnings did all of the work. The multiple took most of it back. Now, why? 3 readings. And I want to be clear, these are readings, not facts. The first and the most plausible. Next year is guided to grow 26%. This year grew 58%. A slower bar is consistent with a lower multiple. The second, the bad debt charge rose as a share of revenue. I will come back to that. And the third, on the day the stock fell 15.7%, the ASX 200 fell 0.27. So that was not the market. No broker cut its target that week. No announcement explains it. Sometimes a stock gives back a gain, and nothing on the public record tells you why. That is the honest answer here, and it is worth more than an invented one.
The headline was the group number. The more interesting number is underneath it. Zip's Australia and New Zealand business made $35 million in cash earnings last year. This year, it made $69.5. That is almost double, in 12 months, in the market everyone had written off. The American business grew too, from $158 million to $228 in Australian dollars, up almost 44%. But look at the shape of the business now. America is 85% of group cash earnings. And here is the thing most people get backwards. That share went down this year, not up. It was 93% last year. Australia doubled its earnings, and the group got less lopsided, not more. One footnote. After the year ended, Zip announced it is winding down New Zealand. From next year, that home segment is Australia alone.
Zip published a scorecard of targets for this year. Cash earnings of at least $260 million. It delivered $269. Operating margin above 18%. It delivered 20. Revenue margin around 8%. It delivered 8.1. And bad debts written off in America between 1.5% and 2% of transaction value. It delivered 1.7. Every one of them met or beaten. The company's own pay scorecard recorded that cash earnings measure vesting at 130%. That is above the stretch target, not just above the base one.
Now, the things in this result that were not in the picture before. The first is credit. The bad debt charge was 25.5% of revenue this year. Last year, it was just under 23. Some of that is simply a bigger loan book, and the cash losses actually written off stayed inside target. But the direction is the wrong one, and it is worth watching. The second is the bar itself. Beating a target is easy to applaud. Beating it and then guiding to 26% growth sets a much harder test for next year. And the third is size. 85% of group cash earnings come from one overseas market. That improved this year. It is still a lot of eggs in one American basket. And here is what this result opened up that was not available before. The brand problem is gone, genuinely gone, and I will come back to how. Credit quality held inside management's own target band through a year of fast growth. That is the hard part, and it is the part that usually breaks. The Australian business is no longer a drag being carried by America. It is a second engine. And the funding is getting cheaper. Zip issued $700 million of bonds this year, at 1.4 to 1.6% over the bank rate. And the Reserve Bank has accepted its top-rated bonds as collateral, completing next year. For a lender, cheaper money is not a nice-to-have. It is the margin.
So 2 ways to read the same set of accounts. The bull case. 4 straight years of rising cash earnings, every target met, and a second profit engine at home. 27.5 times earnings, and about 9 times next year's guided cash earnings. The bear case? A quarter of revenue goes out the door as bad debt, and that share is rising. Growth is guided to slow by more than half. There is no dividend. There has never been one, and free cash flow is negative by design. And twice in 3 months now, the market has refused to hold a higher multiple on this stock. Now, if you watched the deep dive on Zip back in May, this next part is for you. Link in the description if you did not. 3 things were put up to watch. Here is how each one landed. The $260 million guidance number. Held. $269 million delivered. Clean pass. The second one was the bad debt charge as a share of revenue. The line was, below 23%, margins improve. Above 27, the story reverses. It came in at 25.5, right in the middle. Unresolved. And I want to be straight about this one. The number went the wrong way, and margins improved anyway, by 4.2 percentage points. So that metric did not predict what it was chosen to predict. That is a miss on my part, not on Zip's. And the third, the Australian rebrand. That episode called it the biggest risk on the board. It had already been solved 6 days before that video went live. Zip settled with First Mac on the 21st of May and simply bought the trademark. $19.9 million. No rebrand, no further liability. That was not a wrong call. It was a stale one. And those are worse.
So the scorecard moves. Quality goes from 6 to 7. Margins up, returns up, credit inside the band. Moat goes from 5 to 6. The brand is owned outright now, and the funding is cheapening. Balance sheet, 5 to 6. The corporate debt facility is fully repaid. Valuation, 5 to 6, because the multiple came down while the earnings went up. Growth, runway, and management are all unchanged. Management stays put for one reason: superb execution, but the directors barely own the company. Overall, 6.3 to 6.8. The label changes too, from a solid business to a proven operator priced for doubt.
3 things to watch before the next result. Number 1, and this is the new one number, $340 million of cash earnings for next year. That is the guidance. 26% growth on a much bigger base. The half-year result in February tells you whether it is on track. Number 2, the bad debt charge as a share of revenue. 25.5 this year. If that keeps climbing, the margin story gets harder. Number 3, the share consolidation, going to the annual meeting in November. There are 1.25 billion shares on issue. Zip has said that is too many. If that passes, every per share number you have heard today gets rebased. So that one-day jump we opened with, now you know where it went. Zip delivered the year it promised, and the market has priced it lower anyway. The next checkpoint is the half-year result in February. The full Zip deep dive, the one that put those 3 numbers up, is on the left. And CSL, the cheapest it has been in a decade, is on the right. If this kind of framework-based ASX analysis is useful to you, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you see each new video. One company, one framework, one scorecard. Every week.